He'd rather lose with his guys than lose without him, but I'm not convinced that he'd rather lose with his guys than win with somebody else. That's the part.
Someone on the 510 is saying he doesn't want Clay to go win a ring without him. I'm not sure if that's it. But so here's my question though. Okay, so we're dancing around this. People are saying we're injecting I don't know, our personal feelings on this. We're trying to defend him, we're trying to tear him down, whatever. Okay, I want to know from the fans. Draymond presented a hypothetical on this podcast.
Yes, he did.
Together, instead of me going to ring chase, let's lose and let's not make the playoffs for 5 years. Like that's the hypothetical. He would rather fail and not make the postseason for 5 years than chase a ring. Are you okay with that? Like, as a fan, are you okay with that? At 888-957-9570, are you okay with watching the remainder of Draymond Green's, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry's career together in Golden State not reach the postseason for 5 years? I don't know if a lot of people would be okay with that. As loyal as Draymond is, making himself out to be, and as loyal as I think he is, I don't think that's a reality a lot of people want to deal with or want to even think about. 6 straight years of no postseason basketball in Golden State, because that's what he's offering, instead of going to chase a ring. I would rather watch Draymond Green go try and chase a ring than watch the Golden State Warriors not make the postseason by the end of his hypothetical for 6 straight years. I'm serious.
Of course. I think most fans would think that too, although there are a segment of fans that want to see this thing end with all 3 of the guys together. But if that's not good for the Golden State Warriors, the other thing is we talk about wasting Steph Curry's career, and we got to do everything for Steph. Why would Draymond Green even bring up missing the playoffs for 5 years with Steph Curry, knowing full well that it's all about getting Curry another, you might be good with it, but what about Steph? Would Steph be good with that?
Brandon Pajemski just said on this at his press conference when he was named first-team All-Rookie. He said, I don't want to ever miss the postseason again. Well, you just had one of the leaders of the team saying, I'd be okay with it, instead of going to chase a ring.
Yep. Austin's in Redwood City. What's going on, Austin? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just listening to y'all somewhat rip Draymond apart about what he said. People don't never look at what he did do good for the Warriors. They're always pointing out what he do bad or what he say about this and saying about that. Yeah, you got to realize he got us 4 championships. Not only that, he did struggle with the rookies when they first came in. And only that, they came back the next following season and won a ring together as a team, as a unit. So what I'm saying is, I would love to see these big 3s retire together. Why not? I mean, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with what he said? Nothing wrong with that.
So you're okay with if the big 3 retires together, you're okay with, another 2 years of not making the playoffs?
I'm okay with it because look what they built. Win, lose, or draw. Look at the fan base that they still building. That's the crazy part. Like, he's bringing money in. He's bringing more fans in that are not even fans, around the league. Well,
let me tell you, thanks, Austin, but Steph Curry brings in the fans. And, we'll see once Steph Curry leaves how loyal some fans are.
Well, and maybe that's also what I think he might be presenting, is if that's what keeps Steph in Golden State, then maybe people are, to Austin's point, maybe I think it is mostly about Steph. I mean, God love Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, but Steph Curry's the franchise, and together they are the big 3. And if the big 3 together keep Steph here, then maybe that's what people are down for. But I don't believe most fans would be okay with watching a 35-40 win team for 5 straight years. You just be banging your head up against a wall.
And I'm not going the literal route with Draymond. Because 5 years to me, that's ludicrous. Like, of course he doesn't mean that, because no fan would want that either. But let's just assume what he's really saying is, I want to play with these guys for another couple years, and if we don't make the playoffs, I'm fine with that. Well, then the bottom line is the Warriors are going to re-sign Klay Thompson, and they're going to mess around the edges, and they're going to go on a 2-year retirement tour. Is what it sounds like that he's okay with. Big Smooth's in Oakland. What's up, Big Smooth?
Wow. Like Kobe said, that's a Bikram yoga stretch. You guys are taking a conversation on a podcast, and you're creating this spin. He didn't say, listen, it's called hyperbole. He's literally trying to tell you why he's invested here.
He's not invested here, though.
Come on, man. No. Let me, can I just say something?
Go ahead.
You guys are, listen, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, your tint is extremely negative. Now, Draymond has messed up some stuff. We all know that. I would love to see, I almost want to see Draymond gone so I can just go to the future and hear this station cry about really not making the playoffs because they're defensive crap.
Draymond,
Let's bring back the Joe Barry Carroll. Let's bring Joe Barry Carroll back. Let's bring back Todd Fuller. Let's go. Let's get these young studs in so we can, again, you want to talk about missing the playoffs. He's your best defensive player in a decade. And you want to, listen, I know he's messed up, but he's also given us, I think somebody put it very well yesterday. If Draymond doesn't mess up that one chip, we never get Kevin Durant and get 2 more. You got to take the good with the bad. And yes, he had a conversation. He was trying to say, I'm loyal to this franchise. You guys took it, turned it. I guess it's better. I guess it makes better ratings. Turned it on his head and goes, are you okay with not making it? We know good and well Draymond is a winner. And we know Joe Laker's not going to sit there and watch the team not make the playoff for 5 years. And you guys know that.
So why did he say it?
Oh, there you go.
Why did he say it? Why does he say something that everyone knows he doesn't believe? Why does he say something that he says he's okay with when we've seen firsthand that that's not the case? And again, is this a big deal? I don't know. You guys are probably thinking that we're making too big of a deal of it, but the reality of the situation is it's like, it's just Draymond. You're right. It's Draymond being Draymond, but it's already jumped the shark. It's been jumping the shark forever, and it's just another thing where you realize that he's the face of this franchise, essentially. More so than Curry.
I don't know
because he's out there.
He's
way
not the
more.
face of the franchise.
Well, he's the voice of the franchise.
Or
he's the voice.
He makes himself the voice, and yeah, he speaks for a lot of people. But I mean, Steph and Klay have been pretty cool with it over the years. I mean, they haven't been ones to say Draymond shut up or Draymond do this. They let Draymond be Draymond because of what the caller's talking about, what he's given to the team. The issue in recent years, he's right, like over the course of time, Draymond has given more than just about, I don't know, probably 98% of every player that's walked into a Golden State Warriors gymnasium. But in recent years, Steiny, like this, we talked about all year that if this behavior continues, if the antics continue, people will begin to view Draymond Green differently. And so I think the callers, like, if Draymond Green said this, I don't know, a couple of years ago or during the championship years, I'm not sure if we would have made a big deal about it. I don't know if we would actually think he believed it. But because of his own actions, like he's I don't know, he's forced me to rethink.
Well, the other thing is, long before he's ever said this, we've talked, and I've talked about, the minute you kind of aren't winning, that actually has to be the time when you move off Draymond Green. That's got to be the time you move off Draymond Green.
I mean, I don't think it's time yet.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if the organization still believes the window's open, and Draymond just said he's okay with losing for 5 years, and again, that's an exaggeration. He's just saying, I'll stick this out till the end. There's that invites that the reason when he says he's loyal, it invites people to talk about the times when he's let this team down. And he's let this team down a handful of times over the years. And the idea of him being loyal and him sticking it out, we've kind of seen that he doesn't respond well at times when the team doesn't win. And the reality is I can't imagine him on a team that doesn't make the playoffs for 5 years.
No, I don't think he'd be okay with it. That's why I do think, again, it is for effect. He is trying to prove how loyal he is or speak about how loyal he is. And I do think he is. But I don't know. It just kind of, I guess what rubs me wrong about it is that he believes that everyone else is okay with it just because he's okay with it. Like that everyone else just has to kind of conform or gravitate towards his feelings just because he's Draymond Green. Like he's Draymond. He's a 4-time champ. He can do whatever he wants. So when he gets on TV and talks about particular players, or when he gets on his podcast and goes after certain guys, that's just Draymond. When he goes after them on the court, if he chokes a guy, if he hits a guy, if he gets ejected, that's just Draymond. Like all of those things have become increasingly more rampant. And to just think that those things are not going to happen at an increasing rate if you don't make the playoffs, I think it's just a little foolish. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's go to, we got Jimmy in Bayview. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing?
Hey, guys. Great show. First of all, I think everything Draymond has accomplished has been based on winning. And, the last 5 or 6 years, the guy averages, 60, 62 games for the last 5 or 6 years. This guy is assuming that he's God's gift to the Warriors. And, he's got a reasonable contract. The best move for the Warriors might be to trade him in a year. And I just think this guy is talking with this grandiosity after a horrible year. He's going after other players, and this guy needs to put his head down and get to work, because you're only as good as your last year in the NBA. And I just think this guy has an overinflated opinion of himself. What do you guys think?
Well,
I mean, his year was not very good off the court.
I mean, he's got a high opinion of himself, but he was a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player.
I think he's earned a high opinion of himself.
Sure. But the other thing that he's like, his play, that's the other thing that I hear. Dude, you're declining. Like, you're declining. So, like where do you get off in a way saying it's okay if you're going to be here for a couple more years? There's like a presumption there that I'm hearing.
I mean, I think what I hear and what does trouble me, I guess, is we have been fed the last 2 seasons that this team still can contend, still can be a player. When I hear one of the core members of the team, one of the captains or the heartbeat, whatever you want to describe him as, of the team, saying, I'm cool with missing the playoffs for 5 years as opposed to ring chasing. When I hear a player in general, not just Draymond Green, speak about ring chasing, it's because they don't think they can win a ring where they're currently at. Now, he was asked about it. Shaq posed the question. He's answering it truthfully. But I believe that if Draymond truly believed that this was a championship team as currently constructed, he would have moved the question towards, well, why would I need to ring chase? Like, that would be his response. If he was, Draymond's as honest as it comes.
Right.
He would just say, why would I need to ring chase? Why would I even think about it? Because I've never, before this year, before the last 2 years, quite honestly, he's never had to think about ring chasing. Why would he think about ring chasing? Right. People come to Golden State to ring chase. People have joined the Warriors to ring chase. They were the ring chasing destination. And now people are asking them if they would rather jump ship to chase another ring. That's the twist in Golden State. And that's what I hear from Draymond that is alarming, that they might not believe that they're a team that's going to win again. We can think that, but if they think that's a problem.
Bryce is in San Francisco. What's up, Bryce? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, first time caller. Really have enjoyed the show for many years.
Thank you.
I had a lot of difficulty with what Draymond said on the podcast, but what I want to hone in on is if you look at it from a business context, right? So Steiny, if I'm hypothetically your manager and you come into my office and say, hey man, I'm not really interested in producing new innovative broadcast content for the next 5 years. I'm actually a really bad manager if I don't try to replace you. So, I think to both your points, it's alarming. And to me, the podcast, there were a lot of elements of almost entitlement, which was disappointing, especially from a guy who historically has been a really great player. That's it.
No, I agree. And just for a lot of the people out there that are saying, we're making too big of a deal out of this, or here they go again. The reality is, there are a lot of people out there that did hear what Draymond says. And listen, I'm not mad at Draymond. As Guru would say, sports mad, maybe. But, it's just...
Sports,
It's
man.
just... I hear Draymond say that, and my first reaction is, dude, give me a break. Just give me a break. You don't believe that. We know you don't believe that. Why did you say it? And that's why there's all this inspection of what he says, is because I think we know he don't try to convince us that winning and losing doesn't matter to you. We've watched you for 12 years. We know who you are.
Well, they've also won. That's what they do. That's what he does. Draymond Green is a winner. I don't believe that winners are okay with losing. Or if they are, not for an extended period of time, not without trying to do anything about it. So, the struggle that he's talking about, I think it's honorable. You'd love to think about someone who you came in with and wanted to struggle with them on the way out. What if Steph and Clay aren't cool with missing the playoffs for 5 years? I don't think they are. I think Clay is incredibly competitive. I think Steph, quietly, he hides it better than the rest of them, but he's a killer. He's extremely competitive. Curry doesn't want to not make the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that Curry would ring chase or Clay would ring chase. Clay, perhaps, because he's got an opportunity to do so this summer. But those guys want to win, too. And it just, I think when I heard it, it was a little jarring because that didn't sound like Draymond Green to me.